All right, tube, back at you, live from the dungeon. So the back end, that's pretty much done. About 90% of that stuff is done. I still got a couple other little odds and ends to fix up, but I'll get to that. I want to switch my focus over to the front end. And so today I want to make a buck for my poppers that I have that I'm putting in my hood poppers, and I give you guys an idea of what I got going on, and then we're gonna line up this front end on this chevelle here, make sure everything is all tightened down and everything is where I want it to before I start making my cuts and drilling some holes. So let me get this camera turned around and I'll show y'all what I got going on. All right, tube. So if y'all been following me for a while, y'all knew that I had purchased these hood poppers. I just loved them when they first came out. A lot of people started utilizing these, but I really love them in that it keeps the hood down, it keeps the hood latched, so I technically don't have to utilize this release mechanism down here. And it's stylish and everything. But what I've seen is, even on some high dollar bills that some people have done, I've seen that they just kind of just cut the hole and just slap them in. I don't want to do that. So what I want to do is create a buck that will allow me to recess it down. Typically, if you had a whatever you call those, the wheels, you could, recess it down on in and do it that way. Me, I don't have the luxury of having one of those, so I'm gonna try to hand form one and fabricate one so I can create it. And I just want I want the lip of this to be flush with this here. So I'm gonna create a buck that allows it to drop down, and then I'll cut the piece out that I need here, weld it back in, and then I have my piece. It'll be locked in and it'll be what I want. So yeah, just stay tuned. I'm not going to get it all welded in today because I want to line up the hood and line up the bumper and everything. But I do want to create the buck while I have a few minutes to spare. I want to go ahead and start working on creating that buck. But you get an idea of what I'm going for. I want it to almost be similar to this, how this is flushed in. And that was the reason why I paid the money to get this piece for the hood, just so it has that flush mounted and it's not looking like an afterthought of just slapping on top of it like I've seen some other people do. So yeah, just stay tuned and I'll show y'all what I got going on. All right, tube. So what I got going on here is I'm going to create the bucks out of this wood here, and so I need 2.5 inches, 2.5 inch holes, and so this right here, I know this is a saw for like tile, ceramic tile, but this is the only one I have and it's 2.5 inches. So that's what I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna try to get as centered as possible. I'm gonna go through one and then start the other, and then I'm gonna pull it out and then drill through the other one. And what that's going to do is that allow me to have everything lined up. So the thought is to get a piece of sheet metal about this size, maybe a little bit bigger. I'm gonna cut it oversized, and when I have those two holes, I'm going to place sandwich it in between, and then I'm gonna use my air hammer, and I'm going to utilize one of my chisel bits. I'm not sure, I gotta find my chisel bit, but use one of my chisel bits, and then I'm gonna modify the chisel bit just so it hammers down in the inside of it. I tried a couple of other ways to make it happen. So it'd be something similar to this, and I just didn't like the way it was coming out. So that's why I'm trying to create the buck. I'm gonna see if this one will work. So something like this, I'm gonna take this chisel bit and I'm gonna take the chisel part off and I'm gonna just round it. And then I'm gonna utilize this and the air hammer to bang it down to where I need it to go, and hopefully everything will work out smooth. So yeah, just stay tuned and I'll bring you some more of that footage. All right, tube, back at you. So got my bucks made, or my forms made, and the goal is to sandwich it in between these two here, lock it down with a clamp, and then just basically beat it down till I get where I want to go. So I'm gonna see if I have some metal laying around. I know I gotta go to the metal shop to go pick up some more metal, but if I have some laying around, I want to do a quick little test panel and see how that turns out, and then go from there. So yeah, just stay tuned. All right, tube, coming back at you. So you see I got the divot made, and the only thing I utilized was my air hammer with my dolly there that's on it. And then what that did was it created that little dish, and that dish should be exactly the circumference of my hood popper. So now I need to cut out that hole so my hood popper can go all the way through on the back side and screw on the back end here. And it should be 1 3/4. If it comes out the way I think it's gonna come out, then this is just a test panel. But then I know when I go ahead and buy my metal, I'm gonna cut a nice square out and then do the same thing for 2 of them, and then I can just cut out over there when I gotta have everything lined up and patch it in. So stay tuned, and I'll bring you some more of that footage. All right, tube, back at you. So as you can see, I needed to go down a little bit more, and that's fine, but I'm happy with even this right here. I'm happy with it. I do want to go down a lot more here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it back in my little jig there, and I'm gonna, knock it down a little bit more on the sides to get it to sink down a little bit more. But you can get a good idea of what it is that I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. So yeah, just stay tuned, man. Again, it's my first time ever doing this, so hopefully it turns out the way I want it to. So just stay tuned, and I'll come back with more of that footage. All right, tube. So as you can see, this is exactly what I was after. I mean, it is, almost as flush as it can possibly be. You can see I had to go down. I got to go down just a little bit more on this edge right here, but for the most part, you can get an idea of the look I'm going for with it. So when you look at it on the hood, it's going to be flushed in there as opposed to just standing on top of it. It's like those small little things to me that makes a build kind of, it take it a step above. It's not your average, build that you just, do in the garage like what I'm doing now. But, I'm just taking a little bit more time to get some more stuff. I like it right here. This is like perfect for me right there. So like right around in here, it needs to go down just a little bit more. It looks really good right here. Let me see from this angle. I can probably go down just a hair, but again, all that was is making a quick little buck, or a template, or whatever you want to call these. Air hammer, and I got different hammers and different dollies to go along with it. I just ordered these hammers pieces off of Amazon because I didn't see them at Harbor Freight, my favorite store in the world. But I have a couple other ones. I have this one that's a little bit smaller. I'm gonna probably use that one next time. It's a smaller diameter, so I'm gonna probably use that one next time. And then I have this guy right here, and it also came with a chisel in there as well as this one that's in here. So it was a whole set. I think I paid like $8 for it. Shipped to me in like 2-3 days. But yeah, this will give you an idea of what I'm going for. So when you're looking at the hood and you have the poppers right here, it'll be flushed in there. That piece right here, my heat extraction will be flushed down. So it looks like a complete build. And then just get everything nice and tight. I mean, I think this thing is gonna be tough. I still don't know what I'm doing with the mirrors yet. Side mirrors, I was working on trying to build a set, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But yeah, man, I think that's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really nice. And then you have your flush door handles here. The bumpers are flushed. The exhaust will be flushed. I mean, this will be nice and tight, tucked up under. I mean, I think it's gonna be dope. So I'm getting a little excited, getting a little geek. I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice, but yeah, this is something. Again, I'm learning how to do body work, so I'm learning how to do all this metal fab. Me and YouTube. I spend a couple, hours a day, honestly, maybe like 1 to 2 hours a day on YouTube, trying to figure out new techniques and new stuff. I try to do it one way. A dude was doing it with this buck here and shaping it over, and I also made, it takes some time. I made this right here as a buck to like bang it around, but it was just so inconsistent, and it's just you have to really know how to shrink and stretch and win, and I ended up with this here, and I was trying to work on add some weld to it because it pulled too much in, and I did some more research and I found this method, and I really love this method. I mean, it's easy. From right here you can really get an idea. You can kind of get an idea of how that boy gonna sit in there. But yeah, tube, just stay tuned. Again, probably later on this week I'm gonna get some metal. I had some time. I work from home, so I had some time during my lunch break to come out here and knock this out. It only took me 45 minutes to create this and to get that. So I got about another 15 minutes, and yeah, I'm gonna go get ready to jump back into work. But yeah, later on this week, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get some more sheet metal so I can create that. But I'm gonna start working on getting this together here, and tightening everything up so I know my plan of attack on front bumper and the front in general. Just get that all tied in so I can tie in that stuff, get that all placed in there, the heat extractor, the poppers done, everything nice and tight. See what I gotta do metal wise here to make all the lines line up, and then get with this bumper. The full bumper will be shaved. As you can see, I already started. I did this maybe like a year or two ago, where I shaved the license plate. So yeah, just stay tuned, and I'm gonna bring y'all some more of that footage. Peace.